one of these years I'll build actual drop boards for the boat.
I like how you said one of these years, not one of these days.
Yeah, see, it learns.
9 years now, and counting, of building Red Aviva, we take a little break and pack up to go stateside for a while. We enjoy our last margaritas south of the border and catch our flight to Tijuana, to then walk across into California. Ready?
Yeah.
We took off from Loretto and soared over what we explored for 6 months in an hour. The border fence in sight, we touch down still on Mexican soil. Domestic flights are cheaper, and with the Cross-Border Express, you simply purchase a pass and proceed to the U.S. Right on time.
Still mostly in one piece.
Looks all right. Following signs and weaving through crowdless lines, we leave one country and enter another, never feeling like we left the airport. That was super easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be any other customs or anything.
Well, at least the Mexico side was super easy.
It always is.
Always is.
We just like to complicate things up in the States.
Down a hallway, we reach the threshold between Spanish and English, clear with the unenthused American customs officer, a subtle but distinct cultural difference, and are hit with the aroma of bacon-wrapped hot dogs outside. And our whip.
So far we've seen how many Starbucks? As soon as we walked across the border and we walked through that door, it was just an overwhelming smell of Starbucks just hitting you right in the face. I think it was blowing out of the vents.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see a Starbucks. I saw a Starbucks poster.
We drive through the consumerism and make for our home port to indulge in many all-American cookouts with Garrett's family.
Oh, this is for you.
Oh, yummy. Ain't nothing like a backyard barbecue at your Pop's, huh?
That's right.
I rent a car 2 weeks later, traveling farther north to see this guy, absorbing some much-needed swab time. Happy to be walking under the vibrant fall leaves and relishing in the feeling of my sweatshirt against my skin. Swab turns 13 this year. Besides the consequence of being 82 in dog years, he's doing great. While I hung out with my sister and her growing family, who's taking care of Swab, Garrett was 250 miles away helping repair his mom's roof.
Well, I guess I can't stay away from a woodworking project for too long. This is my project for the day. My mom's house. It's got some rot. Gonna pull all these out. Replace those, repair that beam. Had to find something to make myself still feel useful. Not being at the boat. Strangely enough, I'm really looking forward to this. Making progress on repairing this beam here. Got it all glued up. I'm just doing a bunch of saw curves so I can take some thickness off the top. Gotta trim it down and then just clean it up and paint it.
I continued farther north until it snowed and worked under a new foreman. Hi, Stanley. After the hottest summer of my life, I was loving the cold. My brother was the perfect remedy for this weary traveler.
So awesome.
I sent this to Garrett, and he replied with this. We hadn't been apart from each other this long since we were teenagers, but absence makes the heart grow fonder, and when we reunited, a makeshift couples retreat was in order.
Having fun at the La Fonda.
Oh, so relaxed.
It's our favorite spot.
Forgot it could be this relaxed.
This is when I discovered I'd killed our hard drive.
We're attempting to fix this hard drive, and we're back at Christian's place. You guys might remember him from when we rebuilt our transmission. This is the man. All right, so we're gonna see if we can crack this thing open and if there's anything left.
Ugly noises.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah, that's what we want. See, it's just glue.
What did you learn out of this?
Always be better about my backups. I got.
Tell myself.
Yeah. I got a spare and I brought all of our old hard drives with us to back up all of them. I think I have like 9 old hard drives, but that's also the reason why we're able to do all this like flashback story of us, because I happened to bring them all. But before I went to go see my brother, the hard drive hadn't arrived yet, so I didn't back anything up because it hadn't come in the mail. And then this happened while I was visiting my brother. So I was like maybe a week away from actually backing up. I had the intention was there.
It's coming.
This was a good attempt at trying it here in our location before needing to send it away and probably waiting. I don't know how long it takes them to look or recover things. If they can even send me all the files over the internet, that would be great, because then I could still get it while we're in Mexico. If not, it will have to wait till the next visa re-up. Some hope, but no success at this time.
So you're gonna stay here, right? Another 10 days.
That might be a little long.
And 9 hours.
Oh yeah.
I've just spent like a week and a half visiting my family up north and seeing Swab, and I've rejoined Garrett down here, and he's in the middle of helping his mom with this little roof repair, and today he has an assistant. That looks nice. The feeling to return home began. 6 weeks we'd been away with no date to go back, but it was time.
Final egg.
Final leg.
Back home.
Chaos back at the boat.
So we're back at the boat, which means back to work. And I have been finally tearing into the project of getting the running backs moved to where they're more convenient. Where they are now, where they've been, is just, it's a total pain in the ass. They were never meant to be permanent there. That was always kind of a temporary solution just so we could get sailing. Did it in San Francisco.
Starboard running back
Starboard running back.
until we do the through deck.
Which, who knows, maybe we'll never do it. Also, naturally, I began to way overcomplicate the process of moving the running backs. I was gonna add another set of chain plates, you know, tie into intermediate frames, do outside bolts through the hull with steel backing plates outside the hull. Just the typical carried away, overboard Garrett nonsense, but I'll never get them done. If I go that way, they'll be really strong, but it will also be unnecessarily strong. We're talking about crossing over to the mainland which will be at least a couple day passage for us. I'm gonna get this done today. I'm gonna get it done with what we have on board. It's gonna be strong. It's gonna be plenty strong for running backs, and then we can go sailing and just be done with that. It required tearing into all the storage. Our bed, that's all ripped apart, because of course I needed little bits and pieces from all of the deep storage. I've got these big eye bolts. These are gonna go through the deck, so there'll be a big eye bolt on the deck, and then this eye coming up underneath the deck. So this eye will be at the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna attach it into a turnbuckle. This turnbuckle is gonna go down, and there's gonna be another heavy eye bolt that you won't be able to see it because it's way down there, but that actually bolts through the frame and the gussets of the frame. Through that whole assembly, not only will it be pulling on the entire frame, which is obviously fastened into the hull, it'll be supported by the gusset that's heavily bolted into the upper and the lower frame units, which is also tied into the chine, which is a very structural piece of the hull. And I think by using that turnbuckle, I can cinch down on the eye bolt through the deck, so the deck won't be taking any strain. It shouldn't flex or pull up on the deck. All that tension will be transferred through that turnbuckle into the actual entire frame and the gusset and the chine. If my measurements are good, obviously it doesn't have to come out right in the middle. There's a lot of wiggle room, but it would be really cool if it came out right there. Probably won't. Close enough. Okay, now I need to make this hole a lot bigger. Well, this is the only 3/4 drill bit that I have that'll fit in my drill. I'm gonna go down below, okay, and I'm gonna tighten the backside up. I've got this breaker bar here for you to keep it from, yeah, and just try your best to keep it like in line with the planking. Okay. All right, here goes. Okay, it's gonna be a new thing for us to step on until we get used to it. All right, now the same thing on the other side. Here we go. All right, tensioning up.
This is as far as we got without the proper bit to fit the 90-degree adapter for the drill to get in between the frames for the lower eye bolt.
All right, so we got the hood up on the engine, and we're gonna try to finally, hopefully, we'll see, fix and get past this continuing alternator saga. The alternator that we put on last time, the new alternator, is not functioning at all. But I think I've gotten to the bottom of the problem. Throughout this summer in the heat, like we've talked about, our solar panel efficiency just went way down, and it wasn't able to keep up with the battery bank and how much we were using. And we've got a 660 amp hour battery bank. In the summer, every time we'd run the engine, this big battery bank that's completely depleted is trying to just pull as much power as it possibly can from this little alternator. It was just getting so overworked. It's just not, there's no way it can keep up with that much constant demand. I don't want to have the alternator be something that we really rely on to keep the batteries topped off. I want the boat to be solar. I want the boat to be self-sufficient in that way. Now that we're back after our trip back home to renew our visas, and we stayed there for like a month and a half. Now it's what, January? Is it January yet?
No, December like 28th.
It's actually kind of cold here now. Like the temperatures have come way down. Batteries and our solar are now working at like 100% again.
Before we left, when it was still hot, we thought our batteries were shot. but now with a more moderate temperature, everything's functioning normal. When they do reach the end of their life, we'll probably upgrade to lithium, but that's a project for another day.
So we got a much more substantial alternator to start with, seemingly a much higher quality unit than what we have on here. Nice, big, robust alternator. I'm gonna run that through a DC to DC, a Victron DC to DC, separate out the starter and the house bank, but that DC to DC is actually gonna regulate the amount of amps that the battery bank will ever be able to pull from this. So even if the battery bank is really depleted, that Victron, it'll only let the battery bank pull that much from it. Therefore, it'll never run this thing too heavy.
To death.
Yeah, that's the theory anyway. Hopefully we can make this fit. We'll have to do some modification. Okay, this spacer that went on the old one, as you can see, the lower section here is much thinner than what's on this one, but we still need to fill the rest of this gap. So that's what this spacer did. It went behind it like that, because you want everything to stay really snug. So I need to measure that, mark it, and cut it. Our next concern was if we were gonna have clearance on with this fan, because it's a really large fan, and it looks like it's just barely gonna clear.
And it's not fully snug yet. So one more mounting adjustment, and then we're on to the electrical, and then on to the test.
Well, damn, I'm stoked that this thing fits as well as it does. I mean, obviously it's not a plug and play, but it's pretty damn close. Really
You were
nice.
just telling me too that this is only a one electrical.
Yeah, it's a single hookup. It's internally regulated and it's self-excited. So
you only need this one
just
to transfer.
one hot, yeah. Whoa! Oops. Well, good thing I've never finished this.
Yeah, it's not routed yet.
No. Came off faster than I thought it would. Oh my gosh. It's perfect.
Nice and snug.
Oh, that's nice and tight.
Yeah.
Looks like it might just work.
Well, hey. That's more of a plug and play than the plug and play was.
Stuff is not necessary, but it also suggests to do it because the alternator housing is grounded in itself to the engine, but the instructions suggested to actually run a designated ground wire to this terminal in the alternator, so I've already got it run. Might as well do it.
Now to wire up the DC to DC charger and mount it.
How's it going, Chiefy?
Good. Making progress now.
Little bloodshed.
Yeah. Sprung a leak.
This fancy upgrade is controlled with an app via Bluetooth. A few settings to adjust, and we were all clear to start the engine.
First engine run since we've been back. There go the glow plugs.
So theoretically, if this thing's firing off like it should be, we won't see the voltage on the house thing come up until that starter gets topped off, and then it just starts getting power over.
A complete success, start to finish, in a single day. Going to the dentist, gonna get a root canal. Drills are fun in my mouth. We rented a car for some dental work in town, where we also found a bit to finish the running back project.
Better than I thought it would.
Nice. The hardware store only had a flapper bit in the right size, but it got the job done. Outside. The nice shelter of the bay. But it is gusty. Gusty today. So gusty out there.
I know.
Splice another day.
Yeah. It's gonna be annoying to do the splices right now in all this wind. Hardware's done down below.
Sweet.
So all I gotta do is re-splice the running backs to shorten them up a little bit.
Thanks for watching. We'll see ya next week. And don't forget, if you would like a t-shirt, we have new ones. Pick one up if you'd like one. Okay. Okay, director. Okay. All right.
If you set the bar real low, then sometimes you might actually surprise yourself.
Lesson from the great. I'm still out here.
I gotta pee.
More pressing matters.
Oh,
Filming that?
I need to cut this very carefully and make it fit goodly. If I'm not perfectly accurate, beer cans make great shims. So
All right, so then we'll have to drink a beer.
ah, damn it. It's gonna be the hardest part of this whole thing.
Oh, things you have to do for boat work.
I know. You're filming. You know, modern technology has done a lot of wonderful things, I'm sure. That's what they say. But I can't stand every time I buy some new system for the boat and you have to download an app. Like, we're sailors. Like, come on now. Can't stand apps.
Ooh, I love the view.
Yep.